recognize you're lonely. It's not like you're falling from the sky. It's not like you've lost your one and only. Or maybe it's not your time to fly. Someone lost their way, landed on the rooftop, waited there to vanish in the smoke. But that day never came, so he built his nest and was home again. I'm so lucky you know my name. I'm so lucky you feel the same as I do. I'm so lucky you're not ashamed. I'm so lucky.
We don't have to go into detail about how this all started, but it was a long time coming, kind of.
It was a long time coming. After Carter died, it was a process of trying to figure out something that would kind of tie the community together, for one. You know, a process of...
Specifically the music community.
Yeah, the music community to tie the musicians and the fans together, sort of in the way that Carter wanted Dallas's community to come together in that music scene. He was so passionate about that. And so I wanted to figure out a way to do that, and it was a long process, but over time, and me trying to figure out how to incorporate this sparrow that I couldn't draw, and then figured out it was on my arm, and I could actually just kind of translate it to something. The idea of these strings that these musicians use and generally throw away really came together. I kept trying to figure out how to create this sparrow with this band, and the band piece finally just became what it was, and it really worked out in a really cool way, which is much more powerful, I think, than what I originally was trying to do.
So it kind of just through experimentation, you were like, okay, this is it. And how many times did you have to try before you kind of figured out how to make it work?
Well, luckily for me, my boyfriend's a musician, and I basically made him take every string off of every instrument that he owned, so I could play around and try and figure out what I was doing. And so I just did a lot of practicing in different ways, and the strings naturally kind of wind together. Even musicians hand them to me now. They hand them to me sort of wound together. Right. They just don't really know what they're doing.
Right.
You know, they don't quite know how to tie them off and how to do them, you know, in the way that I do them to hold them together. But I had that opportunity because of all those extra strings that I had to really play around and to play with the different guitar strings and the bass strings and figure out how to manipulate them. And even now, each one that I do, I get a little bit better at it, I think, with each one that I get to mess with. I kind of am starting to figure out certain designs that the guitar strings can do because they're more flexible.
Right, depending on the size.
Yeah, definitely. The size makes a huge difference in the string and just the manipulation of the string. And obviously the guitar strings come in different colors.
Right.
So that part is really cool because they're not necessarily more fashionable, but there's a lot more variation, and also, which I never knew this about guitar strings before, but the little balls on them, on the guitar strings, come in different colors too. Sometimes they're multicolored, sometimes they're silver, sometimes they're gold. So I try to use all of those pieces, you know, the whole entire part of the recycling of using the balls, even on the bass strings, the gold piece, I use the balls, but that's allowed each piece to be different than producing the same product over time. Originally, I wasn't going to do earrings.
Right.
And then I started seeing people's earrings and paying attention to what other people had, particularly my clients because they're across from me, and I was like, I think I can do that.
Right.
So it really came together to go down that avenue too, which is nice because I'm not necessarily an earring person. I'd rather wear a bracelet. But a lot of people are much more driven to earrings than bracelets.
But now you have people buy both. Yeah, and then they can buy both. Like, you know, that maybe they're only going to buy so many bracelets, but that they can get earrings as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's part of this too, is to really promote the musicians. I mean, this really has nothing to do with me. I mean, I'm making this, and I'm proud of that, and I'm thrilled to be able to do this. But this is about the music scene. That's what's important. That's what this is about. So I really want to promote them, you know, and what I hope over time is that these bracelets kind of crawl out outside of Dallas, and then people are seeing that this musician from Dallas donated this string. So this person in Seattle, which actually happened, I've actually had a sale to Seattle. So somebody in Seattle is walking around with an Elkhart bracelet.
That's
you know,
awesome.
an Elkhart is a
that.
Dallas band.
And also, 25% of the profits go to Carter Albrecht Music Foundation.
Most definitely. I mean, this whole thing is such a labor of love and really built out of my friendship with Carter and what happened to him and all of that. And so it's a real powerful thing that I'm super passionate about, to donate money to, you know, that foundation. And the other part of this is hopefully over time, you know, it won't just crawl out to other music communities, but crawl out to hopefully, you know, musicians that are on a bigger scale, because I can use those strings, and then it's, you know, much more of a charity event. We can charge more and make more money. You know, I mean, if I get somebody who's well known, then that's a commodity, so that's going to be a higher price, which is a good thing, because then, you know, if you can sell a bracelet for $100, that's $25 going to Carter's Foundation. So it's a really neat thing, and I'm really excited to be doing it.
At least you can realize you're lonely. It's not like you're falling from the sky. It's not like you've lost your one and only. Or maybe it's not your time to fly. Someone lost their way, landed on the rooftop, waited there to vanish in the smoke.